Romelu Lukaku.
Lukaku! Power and pace, breathtaking.
Live on Sky Sports. 6.
Cool boys, and now just a moment on our first game of the day, which features Spurs taking on Everton. We'll have leading the line for them is Romelu Lukaku today, who now just needs one goal to surpass Duncan Ferguson as their all-time leading Premier League.
I'd just like to start by saying, the season, I've seen your top scorer, but how do you think the season's gone from your point of view and also the team's?
I mean, we had to adapt. We had to adapt to the way of playing of the manager, which is way different than we were used to. A lot more higher pressing and aggressiveness off the ball and a bit more directness. But, you know, that's football. We as players, we need to adapt to what managers expect from us. And I think now we're getting into the groove. Since 2017, we are on the streak. We are playing well. We're winning games, and we're clinical in front of goal, and in defence is clipping clean sheets, so everybody's happy.
But individually, you're top scorer now, and I know what you're going to say. You're going to tell me it's all about the team. I hear that from strikers all the time, and I never believe it.
Yeah.
But surely you must, you know, because we all think of ourselves individually and how we do.
Yeah.
You're looking at that golden boot and looking at the other strikers. If they scored this week, because it'd be a great achievement, wouldn't it, to win the golden boot for Everton and yourself?
I mean, my problem was that's what I did last year. I think that's why I lost it. I was watching.
You do think about it?
Yeah, it was obviously every striker thinks about it. We can't deny that, but I don't really care what the other players are doing. I only care about Everton. What's Everton doing? Are we winning the games? Are we playing well? Are we improving? Am I doing the work up front to score the goals or to deliver assists? Because if I look too much at the others, then I'm not focused on my game anymore, and that was my problem last year.
How do you think when you play against someone who you know, do you enjoy that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because in the game, in the game, I don't have the time to have any compassion. I'm not the type of guy who's going to be, oh, you're all right, mate, like, oh, have a chat. No.
No.
I'm here to win. If I have to kill you and I hurt you, I'll do it.
I like that. Romelu, and what you need to get there, or do you think you're at that level?
It's difficult to compare at the moment. Because obviously, like, they have like I said the other day, they have the Champions League platform to show themselves. Those are the top games where I need people to show that I belong to them. Sometimes I think I need a platform where I can show myself constantly in the big games, because now I'm scoring in the last 5 to 6 seasons all the time in the Premier League. So I'm considering myself one of the best strikers of this league, 100%. But I want to show it as well on the bigger stage in the near future, hopefully.
Interesting, and we'll see more of that interview in the build-up to the Merseyside derby, which comes your way on Sky Sports next month. What do you make of those comments there,
Well, the platform, I think the platform sounds like it's Champions League to me. I think that's what he's saying there. I'm sure there was some understanding, because every year we seem to talk about Lukaku and is he going to be leaving in the summer. I think it's better for him this year. I think it was a good decision to stay for another year. He's having a good season. He's a powerful boy. I think the perception is, and it's interesting,
this year we can't split them. Same age, as you know, 17 goals, both 4 assists, so as many goal contributions. There's barely anything between them. Lukaku got going a little earlier in his career. He had that loan to West Brom from Chelsea. And so he was scoring goals in the Premier League before Harry Kane was. Then he had the next year that loan at Everton, and then that's when Harry Kane really burst through, 2014-15. But it's the weight of goals since then, Niall, from Harry Kane, which is a compelling argument, isn't it?
Yeah, and a lot of Harry Kane's goals, there's a number of bodies around, and he finds the correct space, and he has the drop of the shoulder at the right time. And
yeah, you changed your mind already, haven't you? And he plays catch-up. He never seems to be able to score in August. He always seems to be sort of 6-7 goals at the start of the season behind everyone, and then just comes through. I'm with him. I'm with Harry Kane.
They're not a one-men team. I've got a taste for this question then. Who would you rather? Wait a minute. I've got a new one for you. Who would you rather have?
I think this one's more simple, because if you only got to look at the goals this year, I mean, Dele Alli's got 12 goals from a very similar position, and Ross Barkley's got 4. Now, that's not to say I don't really rate Ross Barkley, because I do, but I think Dele Alli is just exceptional. I just find him, love watching him play. Got that bit of devilment that obviously Graham's talked about before. But I think there's a lot of development in Ross Barkley as well, but 2 very talented young English players that I don't think get the credit that at times they should be.
Yeah, I think Ross got lost a little bit in his development.
Yeah,
he burst on the scene. I thought, well, this player, he's really got to put it. And just going back, Graham's made the point a couple of times today, working hard enough, wanting to be better, wanting to be the real deal every day in his life. And I think he's realised that he's got the bit between his teeth again now, and we're seeing him developing as a player. And I think he can catch up with Dele Alli. Dele Alli is a class act.
They're different types.
It's slightly different, yeah.
I think I'd go for Dele Alli. I think he does something which defenders hate. You know, he'll arrive in the box late. I think Ross Barkley likes the ball more to his feet. I think getting players who are prepared, and especially in the modern game, where it's all about, a lot of it is ticky-tacky football going nowhere. I think if you've got a Dele Alli in the team, it doesn't help the balance, the overall balance of your team. You've got someone prepared to run in behind without the ball all the time, stretching opposition. I like that. If you've got one of them, it gives you a different dimension to your team.
I think Ross does things on instinct. I think Dele Alli is more of an intelligent footballer, if you like. I think he reads the game, he sees the game, he smells situations, like that little pass that he did. I was with Ross Barkley this week and I did an interview with him, and what was interesting was there was a lot of self-analysis what he's doing now, trying to improve himself, realising he needs to get better. He's only got, I think, 18 months left on his contract. He's in a great position. You know, I personally think he'll move on. I'm not sure he'll stay at Everton now.
Well, we can hear from both managers. Remember that Ronald Koeman was the last visiting manager to win at White Hart Lane. That was in April last year with Southampton, now in charge of Everton. We can hear from him and Mauricio Pochettino. They are with Greg Whelan.
So it's an unchanged side from last week. Are you looking for more of the same in terms of the performance?
I think it was good performance. We play well and start to keep going and keep the moment and the same feeling. It's true that today is different, completely different game. Again, a very good team like Everton that is in the last months they improve a lot and they are playing very well. And will be tough game. And it's good to have all the squad fit. To try to fight and try to get the good result.
Ronald, one change first of all from last week. Tell us your thinking in bringing Gareth Barry back in today.
I think the fight will be decided on the midfield. You need cleverness, you need fitness on the midfield, and that's the reason that we play with one more midfield player.
You're looking to make it 9 straight wins here in the Premier League. That would be a club record. In this of all seasons, would that be an added incentive for the players?
I think it's a big motivation for us to win, to keep our position on the table. We are fighting on the top 6 during the whole season. For us, it's not only the record, if not the 3 points for us to keep in a very good position, fighting for the Premier League.
You were actually the last visiting manager to win here in the Premier League with Southampton at the back end of last season. What's the key, do you feel?
No, the key is if you press, do it as a team and make it difficult and don't give too much space between the lines, because they have really high individual qualities in players like Eriksen, Kane, Dele Alli, and you need to stop that. And when you get space to play, when you get your chance to come out, you need a high level of football, and that's what you need to get a good result.
Well, how solid does that midfield look now for Everton, with Gareth Barry and these two who start for the 3rd successive game and haven't yet conceded as a midfield pair, Schneiderlin and Idrissa Gueye?
Graham, you want to answer that one? I think he looked at you, but I'll answer it if you want.
No, I think they're very workmanlike. I think Gareth Barry coming in, I've always liked him. His legs are not what they were 18 months, 2 years ago, but he's got the nous to be able to fill the holes that when they're there to be filled, and not make the gaps between himself and the other midfield players in the back 4 a problem for the back 4. They're very workmanlike. Schneiderlin, I'm yet to be convinced by him. You know, he didn't convince me when he was at Man United, and I'm still waiting to be convinced by him.
I think it's a real compliment to Tottenham what he's done today by bringing in Gareth Barry, leaving out Ademola Lookman. I think what he's saying is that's where we've got to be strong. We've got to be controlled. We've got to make sure we stop Dele Alli. And the player that I'm a big fan of is Dembele. You know, they've got Dembele, Wanyama, Dele Alli. So This guy's one of the most underrated players in the Premier League.
And who did Ross Barkley say was his toughest opponent?
He said Dembele. I said to him, he said he's the most difficult player to play against, the way he manipulates the ball, his power. I know what you're going to say, Graham. He doesn't score enough goals. I know you're going to say it, but
well, tell Graham why that doesn't matter.
Because I just think he is such a good team player. I just think he is complete. You speak to other players that play against him. I mean, I spoke to two players, Harry Arter and Ross Barkley. The last two players, both of them have said most difficult player, him. And I see it when I watch him. I think when he was at Fulham and his early days at Tottenham, he left me. Every time I watch him, you don't do enough. You do not do enough. But his last 2 years, under Pochettino, I think he has become a really good midfield player.
Because he doesn't score goals.
He goes past people, he glides past people, he wrong foots people, he gets past people, and then he's got the chance to shoot. He never shoots. It's always, he'll get there and not pull the trigger. And I think it's a simple thing to correct, because he's so full of technique. He should be getting well into double figures every year. And I just feel with him, there's been and he's 29 years old, it's a missed opportunity. You should be talking about him as one of the best
his ability,
best
right.
midfield players in Europe.
But if Dele Alli is getting 12 goals already and Harry at 17, they'd be top of the league if he had 12 goals to throw in on top of it. You know.
I played with guys who used to do that. I played with Terry Mack, who got 20 goals every year, and Ray Kennedy would get 15, 16 goals every year. And then you are winning in the league every year with your strikers.
Yeah, I think he brings a lot to it. He brings a lot to the table.
He does, but I think there's so much. Well, he would frustrate the life out of me, because I think it's an opportunity missed for him. He should be getting lots of goals.
Well, Spurs are in great shape, even though Dembele is not scoring goals, but he's making a fine contribution as they look to make it 9 home wins on the bounce today in the Premier League, and that will be a new record for them. Everton, though, unbeaten in 9, and the live action comes next.